Much attention, please. We learned that at the start of this broadcast, more than 7,000 people were vaccinated in this first mass vaccination day in our department. Governor Everett Harkins gave thanks to the people who attended.
Today, I want to congratulate all the people who had the opportunity to be vaccinated with the first dose. Without a doubt, I'm very happy because we exceeded the goal. Since the goal was 6,000 people, and we exceeded it by far. At this moment, more than 6,600 people were vaccinated. This gives us immense joy. The organization we did with the Ministry of Health, Sanitas, and the Nueva EPS, and all the people who came among those who were vaccinated was relentless. We are giving a good example.
Within the logistics of these vaccination days is the arrival of 36 vaccination teams from Sanitas EPS who worked for 12 hours straight to exceed the goal of those vaccinated in first day.
This is a work that is a continuity of everything we have been doing in the National Vaccination Plan. The truth is that everything we have developed here has been learned at big vaccination centers within the big cities of the country. Perhaps the best known is the Movistar Arena in Bogota, and it has been months of learning to achieve a very efficient process, but also a very dignified work. This is a giant work with the government, the Ministry of Health, Sanitas, and Nueva EPS. We from the Nueva EPS helped with everything that had to do with the coordination and preparation. The government and all the unions helped with the provision of personnel, and the Decameron Company provided the spaces.
The invitation is for all the people to attend these vaccination days that will continue tomorrow from 7 a.m. so that our department can achieve herd immunity.
As agile and efficient, the community described the logistics that was carried out during the first day of vaccination on the island. There were few moments in which congestion was evident in the lines.
This is how the lines were seen until 7 in the afternoon hours in which the vaccination day concluded. Residents keep coming to the lines to receive the first dose of the Sinovac vaccine. The management and logistics of registration and the application of the vaccine were qualified as excellent.
Bien. Ni me dolió.
It seemed good to me. I applied it and it didn't even hurt. It was quick and I think there is a lot of crowding, but the rest is fast.
Es muy bueno y sobre todo que es muy ágil.
Very good and above all, very fast. We didn't take too long. It was super fast, so come and get vaccinated.
Pues bien, sabiendo la satisfacción.
I feel good and I'm satisfied with the fact that we can alleviate this that has us so overwhelmed. Despite the fact that there are a lot of people, there are good logistics and it's organized.
The invitation is for all the residents to follow all the biosafety protocols when attending mass vaccination days on the island.
And in more COVID-19 news, today the National Health Institute reported increase of people with the virus in the archipelago.
After the low of COVID-19 contagion on the island, the National Institute of Health reported a significant figure of positive cases, where 72 people was added to the list in the archipelago, which increased to 6,099 total cases. On the other hand, today 2 deceased people were reported, one of them a 32-year-old woman, which according to the investigation report of comorbidity had obesity. Also, the occupation of COVID ICU beds is of 15 patients, and in the COVID floor, there are 16 people. It should be noted that with the mass vaccination, it is expected to reduce the amount of people infected by COVID-19.
After attending a mass vaccination that began today, members of the departmental Duma held a plenary session where some projects were presented.
During the plenary session that took place within the departmental Duma, a draft ordinance were presented to seek to establish the week of the commemoration of the emancipation in the archipelago department of San Andres, Old Providence, and Santa Catalina. Seeks to include this week within the development plan of the archipelago and likewise within the departmental budget.
I present an ordinance today where we're talking about the week for the Emancipation Week. That is a ordinance that from the beginning I presented already, but it never yet come out of commission. So I present it again because we need digamos, we need an aval from the governor. We need a authorization from the governor. And well, I present it again because it's something very important. It's going to include in the budget for the department, and it's going to include in the development plan for the department. So any governor will come would have to carry through the Emancipation Week.
Similarly, through a proposition number 016 of June 2021 year, the Departmental Assembly summoned the Secretary of Mobility to give an account before the deputies of the Duma to the community in general on the current status of the entity in terms of procedures, required authorization, and due diligence on the various processes of mobility, sanitation, security, and others.
Proposition is we're inviting the Secretary of Mobility to explain us what is happening with the stoplight, with the vehicle and the cupo that we use here to bring in a new vehicle, because we have a lot of complaints. So we want to hear from the Secretary herself what is happening in the department with these different teams.
The Secretary will have to answer the question issued by members of the Departmental Duma.
And the national government, through the Colombian Institute of Family Welfare and with the support of the SENA and the departmental government, a work table was carried out for young people to make known the problems that most afflict them in the department.
Hemos invitado a todos los jóvenes a participar.
We have invited all young people to participate through work tables with the SENA and the Colombian Institute of Family Welfare to listen to them and know their problems and seek strategies to be able to solve all matters related to youths in a timely manner.
Within the topics discussed in this work table, there were educational health and mental health.
Es fundamental poder estar haciendo acompañamiento a esta jornada.
It is essential to be accompanying this day that the government has promoted to listen to the young people of the archipelago of San Andres, Old Providence, and Catlina, as it has been done throughout the national territory. Being able to connect with the youth is fundamental in order that all the offer that we have as a public institution can redirect to them for their strengthening and their development in the construction of life plans.
It is expected that the topics discussed by the young people today will be presented tomorrow to the director of the Colombian Institute of Family Welfare.
And at the Chamber of Commerce facilities, a meeting was held which included businessmen and state entities to strengthen the e-commerce strategy in the archipelago.
A technical roundtable was held among the different businessmen of the island, officials of the INVIMA, and the representative to the Chamber for the Department, Elizabeth J. Pang, in which the benefits of the approval of the Electronic Commerce Bill for the archipelago was made known, and how important it will be for the economic reactivation of the islands.
The idea is to strengthen the island's trade in its free port. There have been some problems that have arisen. We are with these technical route tables trying to solve these problems in an articulated way complying with the law. We can achieve this update by taking care of everything that is new, which is the sale through the e-commerce, how to make that tourism attraction trade continue and generate more employment in the department.
This technical workshop in San Andres is quite productive. INVIMA's purpose is to socialize and give important tools to importers and entrepreneurs in this area of the country to reactivate each of their products in a rentable way.
During the meeting, the island's businessmen were able to clarify their doubts about electronic commerce and the requirement for importing.
Today, the merchants were along with the DIAN clarifying those doubts that we have, because there is a very wide space in the law, and we do not understand what the process is. I think it is a very important meeting so the institutions such as the DIAN and INVIMA understand that the outlook of San Andres is, and we can also listen to their points of view.
During the reactivation roundtable, tools were provided so that the local entrepreneurs can send products into the interior of the country and in this way help the island's economic reactivation.
In a written statement, 10 workers from one of the companies in charge of reconstruction work expressed their dissatisfaction with the treatment they are receiving on the island.
Workers of Susicon, one of the companies contracted to carry out repair works on houses in Old Providence, expressed their disagreement through a document addressed to the Ombudsman Office, Findeter, the Ministry of Housing, Okre, and the Fishermen's Federation, requesting their intervention due to violation of their rights as workers and as human beings.
Hemos venido siempre con reclamos con la empresa.
We have always complained to the company about the low prices they are paying us for the finished houses, about the bad food, the bad rooms or dormitories, in which up to 5 or 6 people sleep without biosecurity measures.
The workers ask that they be given a fair price for their work and that they may not be taken advantage of.
Y nosotros los cucuteños, los cuales...
We, the people from Cucuta, Those of us who have been working from 7 in the morning to 7 at night for a salary where they give us 2.5 million pesos per finished house to be divided among 4 people for a month's work. We think that amount is not a fair salary for us.
Finally, the worker added that a verbal complaint had already been made to Findeter.
¿Cada cuánto le están pagando? ¿Qué tal su alimentación?
How often are they paying you? What about your food? What about your hydration site? How have they dealt with biosecurity? None of them have even come to speak to a worker to ask what is happening to us, if we are doing well or comfortably, or how are they treating us.
2 of the workers reported that they had already been fired this afternoon due to this request to be treated with dignity.
And in recent days, the community of Old Providence expressed their confusion after receiving electricity bills with high rates.
Is the electricity consumption in Old Providence going to be covered or not? This question has many residents of the municipality confused, especially with the recent arrival of a new bill from the energy service provider Sopesa, this time with exorbitant prices.
It is impossible.
It is impossible. It is impossible to pay a bill for 1 month at 1,107,400 pesos. When we previously had a second floor and we did not pay that amount. When we had 9 televisions and 8 air conditioners, we did not pay such high price. How is it possible that we pay this now?
The inhabitant expressed that they will not be able to continue with the service since she considers that the charges are excessive and there is a confusion as to which bill will be paid by the governor's office.
Es un abuso de Sopesa. Ellos dicen que el gobierno
It's an abuse of Sopesa. They say that the government is the one that sets the rates. If so, then the government is abusive too. And the government, if they knew they were not going to continue paying for last year's energy bill, they should have told us. They should have informed us so we would have paid for our services ourselves.
This news agency will seek clarity with the competent authorities about what is happening with the energy service rates and its payment by the governorship in the municipality of Old Providence.
Hello, here are the best sports of the islands. The Island Trotters for Health Sport Club completed its 27th anniversary, forming professionals and athletes on the islands. When you talk about basketball, you have to talk about Island Trotters for Health and FEFE. This sport club, which with the help of Fernando McLean, has trained many basketball players and professionals for the archipelago. With his motto, good student, good player. The club is celebrating his 27th anniversary, and according to FEFE, it will continue to work for the benefit of the archipelago's sport. This is what the renowned coach told us.
In 1994, we legalized it with Dr. Ralph when he was Secretary of Health, and we get named Island Trotter for Health. And you know, we have other people, but the focus at this Island Trotters is good student and good player. We have a plan to begin in these days, but waiting on the parents them to bring in the authorization and the form that they're supposed to fill out every year, the inscription, to begin the program with the children then.
Doing sports is health. If you want to be healthy, practice a sport. That is what FEFE says.